I mean, the obvious question... Well, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll ask you... I won't ask you who the number one is because we know it's Jordan Pickford. Who's going to be the number two now for England after what happened last night to Nick Pope?
It's a tough one because, again, Gareth spoke about players that he trusts. He gave Nick Pope 2 games, which surprised me. I thought he'd have given Aaron Ramsdale 1 game or Henderson 1 and then Nick Pope the other. I thought he would have kind of shared it out and that would have told you
I'd agree.
Who was the odd one out. But the fact he played Nick Pope in both games kind of tells me that Nick Pope looks like he's Gareth's number 2. Now, would that mistake at the end change Gareth's train of thought? I don't know. But, I mean, I'd go Aaron Ramsdale. I think he's been brilliant for Arsenal. But on the face value, it looks like it's going to be Jordan Pickford will, of course, be the number 1 and Nick Pope the number 2 and maybe Ramsdale 3.
You still think Pope number 2?
Maybe, I mean...
A mistake like that last night, why does it happen to a goalkeeper? Takes it off the ball, just
maybe just
happens.
lack of concentration, lack drop in technique. I thought he looked shaky over the 2 games, especially with the ball at his feet. He's obviously not as comfortable and it's almost like some players become more elevated when they've not played. So you look at the likes of Jordan Pickford and then Nick Pope played with the ball at his feet. How much more comfortable do England look when Jordan Pickford's in goal, when the ball's at his feet? He can obviously play with both feet, but obviously he's got that spray, hasn't he? Like if he needs to just clip it over the top, as they did when he was at Everton. I can't remember who the goal was against. I think it might have been Bournemouth, and Damari Gray steamed in behind and one pass from Pickford. So he's got that. So almost now you see how integral Pickford is to this England team. So Pickford will be number 1, and I think he'll take 3 goalkeepers. By the way, I think he'll take 3.
I think he has to, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think it'll be Ramsdale, Pope, and Pickford.
Okay. When you talk about the defenders we'll talk about the defenders that are going to be on the plane, and then we'll talk about who you think and I think will be starting for England in their first game. I've changed my mind on Trent, right? You and I have spoken about Trent many a time, and I didn't think there was a place for him. I look at England last night, I like Reece James, but I think going forward in that role when you're playing 3 at the back with wing-backs, I think Trent is a better wing-back than Reece James. I know he doesn't play that role, and maybe you could argue he's too far forward, but I think the balls that Trent would be spraying, if that's the formation you're playing with England, will be better than the ones Reece James will be.
Joe, I like Reece James, and I think he's been brilliant this season for Chelsea, and I still probably would opt for him over certainly over
Trent.
Over Trent, I'd have Reece over Trent.
What
in the wing back role?
Would you?
Yeah, because he plays every week. But there were certain aspects last night when England were 2-0 down, they were pushing forward in that second half, and I did think, you know what, there were times where Reece James was getting the ball out wide and he was chopping back and he was cutting the ball back to the edge of the area. But sometimes when you look at Trent's delivery from anywhere, I mean, he can change defence into attack like that one pass.
Yeah.
So there were times I thought, you know what, this is the perfect game for Trent to come on in and make a real impact. So I think he'll struggle to go, if I'm honest, to the World Cup. I don't think he'll take him, Gareth.
I think he's definitely going to take it. I'd be stunned if he doesn't take him.
So what, he'll take Walker, Trent, Trippier and Reece James?
Yeah, well, Trippier can play the other side.
I don't think he will. I think Trent might get left behind.
I think that's a mistake. He's my number 1 wing back now.
Is he?
Yeah, he is. If you're playing Kyle Walker in a 3.
Well, yeah, Walker will play, of course, as the 3 or as right back if we go to a flat 4.
Yeah.
But as I said, I would take Trent. But there were moments last night, as I was just saying, where England were trying to attack down the right-hand side in that second half. And I just remember thinking, if that was Trent would have done this. Because as I said, and we've said it on this show hundreds of times, he's the most naturally gifted fullback this country's ever produced. He could do everything, the passing,
I agree.
Technically everything. But there's question marks about his defending.
But do you have more cover if you're playing a 3?
Yeah, because you've got the right side. You've got Walker, the pace is behind you.
Well, there you go.
So, but for whatever reason, Gareth just doesn't seem to trust Trent at all at that top level. So I think he could be one that gets left behind.
Would you take him?
I would take him.
Okay, me too. On the other side, if you change your mind as who's going to be the left back or left wing back?
I thought Luke Shaw was okay last night. I mean, he played that one great pass.
Okay, I thought it was excellent.
Yeah, I don't know about excellent, but he played...
His pass was great, he scored a goal.
Yeah, okay, but 2 things in 90 minutes.
Oh, I didn't see Saka do that when he played left wing back.
Yeah, but because he's not a left wing backer.
There you go. Left wing backer.
Yeah, so...
You've been watching too much NFL.
So, but no, yeah, I like Luke Shaw. I think he probably will start if they go with the 3. Trippier, of course, can play out there. It'd be interesting to see what happens with Ben Chilwell. Certainly from now to the World Cup, because had the injuries come back, not played probably as much as he would like, but he would be in the mix. But I probably, if you're asking me today who I would opt to start with, it would be Luke Shaw.
Okay, you're going Luke Shaw one side. Are you playing a 3 or 5?
I'm playing a 3.
Sorry, 3 or 4?
I'm playing a 3.
You're playing 3. So you're Luke Shaw.
Yeah, and Reece James.
Reece James, and your middle 3 are who? Dyer, Stones and Maguire?
No, I'm going Walker, Dyer, Stones.
Hold on. I meant Walker. Walker, say it again? Dyer,
Dyer, Stones, yeah.
Walker, Dyer, Stones. Okay.
All playing. The only thing is his injury, Stones. How severe is that? How severe is that hamstring? Because if it's a grade 2, that's a while.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
What's a long time? Too long?
6 weeks.
Oh, so
if you rip your hamstring, grade 2, 6 weeks.
Okay. I mean,
and that's before you start.
Can you? Because the way he did it, he was just jogging and he pulled up.
No, he's sprinting, wasn't he? Tried to break and
okay.
Then,
can you read into that what kind of injury that is because of the way it happened?
It's usually a bad one. I mean, you hope it's a little tweak sometimes.
Yeah.
And with the hamstring, it sometimes can feel worse than it is, and then you find it settling down. Mm-hmm. But sometimes, a lot of times in that instance, when you're fully blown sprinting and then you pull up, it's like, sharp pain. That's usually a tear potentially.
Let's move on to the midfielders now. This is going to be interesting.
Well, the two in the middle of the park that are starting, I'll tell you right now.
That's it, it's done, right?
It's Rice and Bellingham.
Okay. Anyone else going?
Going to the World Cup.
Yeah, sorry, anyone else not going?
So
I'm probably the easier.
Yeah, so I'm looking at the list now, and out of the ones we've got, I mean, there's a lot of players on here. I think.
Are you playing 4-2-3-1, by the way?
No, I'm playing 5 at the back.
Okay, and then you're playing 2 in front of them?
Like a 3-4-3.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. I'm probably going to opt for... So Bellingham's going to go, Foden's going to go.
Yeah.
I don't think Conor Gallagher's going to make it.
I agree with you.
I don't think he'll make it.
I agree.
Henderson will go 100%.
Yeah.
I don't think Emile Smith-Rowe will make it.
Me neither. I don't think Jesse Lingard's
definitely not making it. Ward-Prowse, I mean, someone's put Emile Smith-Rowe in here twice, by the way, but...
They're obviously wanting to go, right?
I think Ward-Prowse will go because I think he's a good addition at times. You might put him on. I mean, I'm not quite sure when he gets the game time, but I think he'll go. Calvin Phillips will go. So on this list here, we've got Conor Gallagher. Unfortunately, I think it's come too soon for him. Calvin Phillips is an interesting one with the injury. Depends how much game time he gets, because I don't think you need to take Calvin Phillips solely on experience and what he's done in the past, because he's just not playing any games, and you've got Jordan Henderson that can do that. So
okay. Yeah,
Jesse Lingard won't go, Emile Smith-Rowe won't go, and Conor Gallagher won't go.
And the up front, who are you starting with?
Well, Kane's down the middle, of course.
Yeah.
One side is Bukayo Saka.
Are you?
Not Saka. Yeah, but Saka and Sterling. They're my 3.
Are they?
Yeah, they are. Yeah, Sterling, Saka,
really?
and Kane.
You're starting with... Okay.
Yeah.
You're dropping Foden?
Yeah, I am. I am, yeah.
Are you really?
Yeah, I am, yeah.
That's amazing.
And when you look at the names we've got in here, we've got Harry Kane, Tammy Abraham, Ivan Toney. I've got my question marks around Ivan Toney now because he's not been given any minutes. So,
just quickly, we've not even mentioned Jadon Sancho or Marcus Rashford. Are they going?
Sancho, I'm a bit reserved on. Rashford is making strides. So looking at the attacking players, it wouldn't surprise me if Rashford went and someone like Jared Bowen didn't.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Callum Wilson.
Ollie Watkins?
Nope, won't go.
No, I agree.
I think
you and I agree with everything, I think.
I think if Callum Wilson could stay fit, he's in the mix for number 2 behind Kane. Him, Tony and Abraham, them 3 are fighting it out, but he just unfortunately can't stay fit.
But you're dropping Phil Foden.
Yeah, he won't start for me. And Dominic Calvert-Lewin's on this list, won't go.
Okay. I think after last night's performance and how much of a fan I know he is, I think Mason Mount starts for England.
Instead of who?
Well, it's got to be one of the 2 you just mentioned, right?
No, but listen, he might come off the bench. The impact he may come off the bench.
I think Southgate absolutely loves him. And we've seen how loyal he is to certain players.
So you think he'll be one of the front 3?
Yeah.
talkSPORT Drive with Andy Goldstein. Monday to Friday afternoon from 4 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.